Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have not been here before, my name is Maddie, this is my channel, and these are my plants. So today's video is going to be in collaboration with some fellow plant YouTubers. So I came up with the idea for a collaboration video and I approached some other fellow plant YouTubers and I asked them the question, if you had a spirit plant, what would it be and why? So most of you would have heard the term spirit animal before, and it's basically an animal that represents you physically, emotionally, etc. So for me, I decided to choose my red vein maranta for its emotional traits and for its aesthetic traits as well. So I like to think of myself as being pretty unique and different, and I feel like the maranta really represents that aesthetically. So being a calathea, it is a lot more sensitive, and I'm a very sensitive person. I like to think that I come across as tough and strong, but deep down, I'm a sook. I am so emotional, and so with the whole opening and closing trait of a prayer plant, I like to sort of think of that as, you know, I like to be with my friends and I like to be outgoing, but I also like to sort of, you know, back off and just be alone and sort of close up and just really like be on my own and regenerate, because socializing is exhausting when you're an introvert. So that's another reason that I find this plant really speaks to me on that level. And another thing that really took me by surprise was the fact that it bloomed for me the other day. And I really find that speaks to me as well, because I find that I'm constantly changing and improving and, you know, blooming. So that's another reason that, you know, I decided this was definitely my spirit plant. So that is my red vein maranta and why I picked it to be my spirit plant. So everybody that features in this video today, I will link their channels in the description below so you can go and check them out. If you enjoyed their clips on my video today and you want to check out their channel and subscribe, please do, because it's really important that we support one another as plant YouTubers. So without further ado, let's check out what everybody has chosen today for their spirit plants.
Hi, I'm Ella and I'm the Plants Meow, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my spirit plant, which is the Queen Anthurium. I know, at first it's like, is this too bougie of a plant to pick? Like, am I calling myself like I'm the queen? Like, it's not about that. Honestly, there are so many reasons why we are so alike, and today I'm going to be showing you one of them, and it's one that has a new leaf growing and it's really beautiful and super excited. This is Amara, and she's one of 5 of Queen Anthuriums that I have. She's a very dark form and no lighting adjustment needed. She stays dark no matter what, which is awesome. So the reason I picked a Queen Anthurium as my spirit plant is because, first of all, we don't like hot temps. You will not find us, either of us, happy in Florida weather when it's like over 90 degrees. Neither of us are going to be happy with that. Additionally, in the wintertime, she expects lower temps. So when it gets low 60s in this plant room, she throws no fuss about it. I have other anthuriums that show temperature stress, but she doesn't. She doesn't mind the lower temps during the winter time, which is great. I don't mean freezing, guys, because neither of us tolerate freezing. I'm just talking about those lower, cooler temps that are still fairly comfortable. Also, we both like that moderate humidity. If humidity is too low, my skin gets dry. We don't want to talk about what happens with her. But in this plant room, it stays between 55 and 60% humidity. I'm comfortable in that, and so is she, and I don't get any issues with that. Honestly, there's a lot of reasons behind that, and mostly has to do with watering. Also, we don't like to be touched often. So her leaves are pretty brittle. If you play with them too much, you may scratch or snap something on her, so always be careful when handling your Queen Anthurium. And with me, like, just if you're a stranger, it's just weird. Just don't touch me. Also, we're both stubborn. I just looked into a grow light. So we're both stubborn and can really hold a grudge. Now I'm trying to work on that. My queens don't. I have one queen in Therium, my very first queen, which was my learning curve queen. She's happy now though. Actually, let me go get her for you really quickly as we're talking about Anastasia. So this beloved creature of mine I've had for probably about, I think 8 or 9 months. And she just threw out this leaf in January. She's also producing a new leaf. So I know now she's happy. But the reason she took about 7 months to produce a new leaf is because she doesn't let go of the past. She holds onto those grudges, but she's very, very beautiful. Oh, love. Also, we both really enjoy our compliments. Every time I put out a YouTube video, I get so many nice compliments and it makes me feel so humbled and feel so loved, and it makes me feel really good. I don't expect these compliments though. She definitely does. I feel like I have to come in on the daily, and honestly, I feel like she's always looking at me and expects something out of me. So honestly, there's just so many reasons I relate to my queen anthuriums. If I had to downsize my collection for one reason or another, honestly, I would be totally happy with having just 5 gigantic queen anthuriums that could grow as large as they would want. I want them to become massive, gigantic, and I'm so in love with them. They're too beautiful. They're so awesome. And thank you so much for including us in this video.
Hey plant fam, Jacqueline here. In case we've never met before, this is my jungle. And today I'm coming at you to let you know what my spirit plant is. In the past, I've been like, well, I'm a Photonia because I'm dramatic. But the more I thought about it, the more I was drawn to this babe in particular. Honestly, I don't know the name of it. Is it a myrtille cactus? Anyway, it's a blue candle cactus or something like that, but it kind of spirals. Isn't it cute? I chose this plant as my spirit plant because it's cute and kind of awkward. And it will stab you if you get too close. So, yeah. That's my story. My spirit plant is this cactus. This particular cactus. It just chills. Doesn't bother anybody. Minds its own business. Doesn't really do an awful lot of anything. But she will stab you. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to say. This is awkward. I might be cute, but I will stab you.
Hey guys, it's Allie from Allie's Plants, and I'm here today as part of Maddie's collab to share with you what my pick for spirit plant is. Before you do that, make sure to follow me on Instagram or subscribe to me here on YouTube at Allie's Plants, which will be on the screen and I'm sure it'll be linked below. But my pick for my spirit plant is this Calathea Rosiopicta Rosie for both its aesthetic and its emotional traits. So the first reason why I'm like this is because it is sensitive to the sun and will burn to a crisp if exposed to too much, just like my pale self, as evident to some of my worst sunburns, but you know, it'll be okay eventually. It'll heal, send out new growth, whatever. The second reason is also to do with the crispiness, is because I bleached my hair in November of 2018 and these ends are fried and crispy. And I also did have pink and purple hair in the past. I'll post a few pictures up on here. Most of you didn't know that, that's why I figured I'd share the photos. The third reason why I'm like this Calathea is because I am dramatic and sensitive. Any small little thing happens and I will throw a freaking fit. I will not always tell you why I throw a fit, just like these. They'll wilt, they'll dry up, they'll crisp up, they'll roll up, they'll do whatever. But most of the time, the solution is just a little bit of food and water and then you'll be okay, just like me, because I am so hangry. And also, like this Calathea, I will not thrive in every environment or under anyone's care, but given the correct conditions and the type of care and kind of just, leave alone to do my thing. Just give me some food and water and some extra attention sometimes, and I will be okay and give you endless amount of growth. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to me and to Maddie and to everybody in this video, and have a good day. I'm so awkward.
Hello plant friends, my name is Jimmy. My channel is Legends of Monstera. So Maddie asked us to share our spirit plant, the plant that represents us, I think. For me, when I thought about it, it was, easy decision. My spirit plant is also my favorite plant. It's the plant where I could basically, trade off all the plants that you guys are seeing in the background, just have multiples and multiples of this plant, and I would be extremely happy and extremely content with my collection. So my spirit plant, or my favorite plant, is this one. This is the philodendron variegated billieti, or billiete. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but yeah, this one's, it's great. It's so great. So like I said, this one is the variegated billieti. So the regular billieti will have leaves the same shape, but the leaves will all be sort of like this dark shade of green. The stems are still orange even in the regular billieti, and the orange stems is probably what makes people fall in love with the regular billieti. It's really unique. You really don't see orange stems in many other plants. I'm trying to think of any that I know of, but nothing's coming to mind. So the orange stems, in contrast to the green leaves, really, has this, attention grabbing component in the regular billieti. So then once you add the variegated leaves like these, it just takes it up like a whole other level. Yeah, definitely my favorite plant. I don't know what to say about this besides just looking at this thing just makes me so happy. I feel it represents my inner child, my my naiveness, my wanderlust. Yeah, it just puts me in a positive mood every time I see it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just love this plant so much. So, yeah, my favorite plant. If you guys are, happy goer, go lucky, or happy going, and you guys just, super positive, this is probably your spirit plant too. You guys just probably didn't know it yet. Yeah, whenever I look at this, I always tell people that it reminds me of if you give a pack of crayons to a kid and just let him go wild, him or her go wild on a coloring book, right? I feel like this is something that you might get, right? It's orange stems and some yellow dots and freckles and stuff on the leaves. Also, if you guys, I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, it probably doesn't, but the edges of these leaves are also orange. Does that show? It probably doesn't show too well, but anyways, yeah, this is my spirit plant. Thanks again to Maddie for inviting all of us to share our plants. Take care, guys.
Hey guys, so my name is Ashley. I have a plant YouTube channel called Plants with Ash, where I talk about lots of plant things. And I was asked recently by a friend, Maddie, who has an amazing channel, to share what my spirit plant is. And I'm just gonna do it. I'll just do it. Okay. My spirit plant is a Epiphyllum Wattleamise. So it is the curly version of the epiphyllum. And one of the reasons I feel like it's definitely a spirit child, it's my spirit plant, is I feel like this is how I generally look sometimes. Like my hair is off the hook. Like this is my natural state hair. But another problem, another thing is that this plant is stubborn. I have been fighting things off of this plant for a really long time. I've been fighting, it has mealies, it has spider mites. I just checked it again and I still have mealies, I still have spider mites. Lord, help me, I don't know. I'm seriously, I don't even know. I don't even know what to do at this point. I don't know. I don't know about you. Why are you so hard? But anyway, this plant is trying to teach me a lesson about life and about how not to be so stubborn and not to be so dead set and to learn how to be flexible, Epiphyllum. I know you're not from Arizona, but like, can you help a sister out a little bit? Can you like fight back? Because this stuff is wild. I don't even want to show you guys up close some of the problems. I'll keep this plant away. Yeah. So, Epiphyllum wattleomies.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth and I'm from Elizabeth Plants. My spirit plant is probably Pothos. Now I didn't come to this decision lightly. So Pothos was always in the back of my mind, but I felt like I didn't know why, and there must be a better plant that fits me. Pothos is the easy answer. So I kind of kept thinking, well, why does the Pothos keep coming to mind? The first thing that comes to mind is that it grows quick and it's very voluminous. My hair doesn't look it now, but I have very thick, fast-growing, poofy hair, and it is very difficult to manage, sometimes just like a Pothos. So that was kind of idea number one. When I kind of dug into why does Pothos feel like my spirit plant, another thing that came to mind is it's adaptable, right? The Pothos in its many forms can be very adaptable to high light versus low light situations, to indoor or outdoor on your patio, to different, humidity levels. It's just such an adaptable plant. And I feel like I'm also a very adaptable person. While I prefer highlight situations, I can handle a little bit of low light. And while I prefer it to be warm and humid, I can handle a little bit of cold dry every now and then. And then the third reason is that it's easy to get along with. Now maybe I'm tooting my own horn here a little bit, but I feel like I'm pretty easy to get along with, and I think this is in part with my adaptability. I am a kind of go with the flow type of person, and I adapt very well. That means that I'm generally easy to get along with because I'm going to adapt to your personality and I'm going to adapt to the environment, just like a Pothos does. And when I say Pothos, I'm not referring to any specific type. I really couldn't pick out one type of Pothos that fits me more than the other, because I feel like they all serve a different purpose but are all fairly similar. So those are the three biggest reasons why I think a Pothos fits me the most. What's your spirit plant?
Hey Maddie, thanks for having me, and for anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Scott and I'm from Scott Grows an Avocado Tree, a channel on which I am attempting to grow an avocado tree from seed to the point of bearing fruit, and along the way I'll do any other plant things that take my fancy. My personality plant is a passion fruit. Now, this is my passion fruit vine here, and you might be thinking, Scott, that's not an avocado tree. Well, shouldn't yours be an avocado tree? And no, it's not. I've chosen passion fruit today. And why not? What a fantastic plant these are. This is my passion fruit vine. I only got it about 6 months ago. It's growing in a large container. I've got it growing with this trellis here because they are climbers, and it's doing really, really well. I haven't gotten any fruit yet, and I probably won't get it this season or next season, but it's still a great grower, and it really does look nice. And the part of my personality that I'm choosing to project onto this passion fruit vine is my eagerness to grow and learn things and latch onto things. You see, passion fruit have got these tendrils which they use to pull themselves up like any climber. But I really like how this climb is not an annual, and this will be with me every year. Now, I think that being able to hold on to things that we're excited about to help us grow is a really fantastic thing, and I really appreciate that about myself. And that's why I've chosen the passion fruit vine as my personality plant. So my choice isn't about the name passion fruit, though I am excited about many different things and I like to invest time into those things. I'm also not going to talk about how they can be incredibly invasive because they are such incredible growers and they do latch onto things so incredibly well, and they can become weeds in certain situations. Instead, I want to think my personality is one which likes to grab onto things around me that I love. I like to use those to help me grow, and I like to be fruitful. And that is why I have chosen the passion fruit vine as my personality plant. Thanks very much for having me.
Hi everybody, I'm Brianna. My channel is TerracottaDC. So today I'm sharing my spirit plant with you. This was such a good idea. Thank you to Madeline and to my plants for coming up with this awesome idea and for letting us all collaborate with you. I'm super excited about this. So it took a little bit of thinking because, well, one, it's not like every day that I guess, you're thinking about what plant might represent your spirit the best. I went through a couple of different options, and then one clicked and I'm like, oh yeah, that is my spirit plant. So just to show you, the one that I have selected today is my red Maranta. And this plant is kind of a star over on my channel. We have been through it all with this plant. I rescued this as a little teeny tiny clearance at Ace Hardware. It was 2 leaves and it was in this dinky pot and it was definitely destined for death. I paid $1 for it, and since then it has really come a long way. I've cut it back, it's lost some leaves, it still has some really old kind of not in the best condition leaves, but all in all it is really coming along. So the reason that I think that this plant kind of represents a little bit about my personality, one is that it's, I just feel like this plant is kind of delicate, kind of shy, kind of that really nice girl that you're sort of, unsure, is she shy? Does she not want to talk to me? I think I'm like that, and I've always been that way since I was a young kid, so I'm pretty shy, even though, interestingly, right, I make YouTube videos, but in real life, I think it can take, well, I'm an introvert, and so really making small talk is not my favorite pastime, and I find it a little bit exhausting, fatiguing. So anyway, so I'm a little shy. I think it takes me a while to warm up to people. And then the other thing is okay, so prayer plants in general, they are called prayer plants because they follow the sun and they do this folding action. And so if you really notice, you have to look very closely at your plant, but you'll see that throughout the day it really looks very different. The leaves can be up in the morning and fold down by the end of the day. And so in order to truly discover this plant's magic, you have to be very persistent and calm and patient and watching this plant. And so I guess I can kind of relate to that. I find that day to day I have pretty cordial interactions with people, but to really get to know me takes a little bit. I am not the most forthcoming. I think it takes me a while to open up and things like that. So for that reason, also this plant is so sensitive. It needs to be grown just in the right conditions. And if any of you have grown Maranta or Calathea, you know that all these brown crisping edges, that is common behavior of these plants. they like to be moist but not wet and not dry out. They like to have bright but not direct, but not too bright of sun. And so anyway, I have gotten to know this plant over the years, and I've slowly started to understand what does it need. But you know, I find that I'm pretty sensitive too. I don't think that I'm like, I don't get day-to-day things don't bother me. I try to really be calm and like not let it get to me, not stress it, you know, go with the flow. But so like, I wouldn't say I'm like easy to anger, nothing like that. That I would call like a photonia, or someone who is just like dramatic and drooping. That is not me. But I am sensitive in the sense that like little things, you know, like I feel a lot for people. I'm kind of empathetic. I can get like very moved. I can cry a lot at stuff. So anyway, so very sensitive, very delicate, kind of, you know, I guess unassuming at first. I mean, you might look at this plant and be like, okay, but as you kind of get to know, oh my god, it moves with the light. And so the interesting thing about this plant comes after a lot of time and gentle observation. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm feeling like this is my spirit plant. So anyway, you guys, that's it, my red Maranta. Thank you again, Madeline. Super fun idea. Can't wait to see what everybody else says. Bye.
What's up, Maddie's subscribers? My name is Sydney and I have a very small YouTube channel called Peaceful Planting. So I was invited here to show you all my spirit plant, which was very difficult to pick out, but I think I found the one, so let me go get it. This is my spirit plant, a no ID begonia, which means that I do not know the name of it, but it is a cane begonia, and I love cane begonias. They're so much easier to take care of than Rex begonias. But as you can see, it has these little lobes right here, which really relate to me because my ears stick out. They're not huge, but they stick out. And this plant has these little ears on it. I think that we're made for each other. And this plant just keeps blooming. Despite me getting it 2 months ago and changing its environment, repotting it and everything, it just keeps blooming. So I think that relates to me. No matter what, I always try to just keep doing my thing and reaching my goals. So I think that is one reason. And also, if you can see, the leaf is pretty simple on the outside, and then on the underside it's red. I feel like that relates to me, just simple, but there's a lot underneath here, very complex. This plant also loves humidity, and I hate the desert. So I mean, spirit plant, we were made for each other. I think this plant just has a really awesome personality. I love it, love the way it grows. I love how it just keeps blooming. If you know the name of it, head over to my channel and let me know. I would love to know her real name. So this is my spirit plant. I hope you like it as much as I do. Bye.
Hey Madeline, I am here to answer your question about what my spirit plant is. Just like spirit animal, spirit plant, I'm sure you've explained it. And also, hey everybody else. I was really racking my head on this one. I couldn't think of a good answer. So I asked for some advice, and I actually took Answer My Plant's advice on what my spirit plant should be. And first of all, let me talk about what people are generally talking about with spirit animals. I've said that mine is a raccoon, or a raccoon dog. So I have 2 tanuki here. You might see them in Mario. And I don't know why. I just always like raccoons for reasons I'm about to get into. But then in the last few years, there's another one that's just really caught my eye. I have this weird obsession. I want one, and that's a chameleon. I just want a chameleon. It's beautiful. So I got this suggestion for this to be my spirit plant, and I was thinking that, yeah, it does kind of fit. It fits pretty well. Zany, wacky a little bit. And then it reminded me of what a friend told me a while back to try and encapsulate my personality, and that's that I'm mischievous and jolly. And I don't know why, but I really enjoyed it. Maybe because it fits the raccoon archetype. And this plant really fits the same thing. So actually I have one here behind me. If you can guess, And so my spirit plant is the ponytail palm. So mischievous and jolly, I think they fit. You know, they're just wacky, they're a little weird, they're funny, but they're cool. And then it's also a caudexiform, which is thick. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know how I feel about caudexiforms. So there we go. Here's my other one. This one's a little baby, or a few little babies. And this one's. Also, I used to have a man bun, so I think it just kind of fits. Alright, thank you. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, I'm at Thick Potter. Check me out. I'm really behind on videos, which may or may not continue in the future because I'm a procrastinating fiend, mischievous and jolly. But you can find all that on my channel. You guys have a great day. Bye. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Casey, or Plant with Casey, here on YouTube. I'm a stay-at-home mother of 2 toddlers. They are 3 and 2, and I am mainly here to spread some plants and some positivity. So we were asked what our spirit plant would be if we had one, which plant we would identify with the most, and mine definitely is a philodendron Salome, and there are a few reasons as to why. Number 1 is because they're very relaxed, very chill plants. They don't need a lot of time and effort, and I feel like I am the same way. I would much rather just not get ready and just chill all day, relax, hang out. So, number 2 is because they don't care. They don't care how much light they receive. At least mine doesn't. Mine's in very, very low light, and it's very content. And it doesn't really care when I water it. I wait way too long to water it. So between the fact that they are just content and chill and that they don't care, I feel like I'm basically describing myself in a way. I honestly feel, as far as like making friends and just like my overall lifestyle, I am more of a chill person. I will be friends with virtually anyone. I am not one to judge whatsoever. My life motto is basically, if it makes the person doing it happy, then who am I to judge? And it's kind of weird that like I can go from that perspective of a plant, but I do feel like it's similar in a way because they're chill, they don't care, they are not judgmental, and I feel like I am the same way. So I hope that made sense. I don't necessarily know if that makes sense, but I'm hoping that makes sense to you guys because it kind of makes sense to me. I don't know, but yeah, I am a philodendron Salome. So hi, how are ya? Do we look alike? Bye guys.
Hi. The lovely Madeline suggested that we all talk about or show our spiritual plan. My personal spiritual plan is the Monstera dubia. I got this plant in my bedroom and I just feel like it keeps on going. It literally, when I bought it, it had 3 leaves and it just keeps on growing. It's tiny. It's just, yeah, I feel really a special connection to this plant. I guess I feel so connected to this plant because it's different, it's rare, and with the growing, I sort of realized over the years I grown a lot, and I'm made like an empire. And I don't know, I just look at this plant in the mornings and I feel, even if I'm having a bad day, and especially at the moment, I'm a little bit worried. I try not to worry too much, but my family is in Europe and I wake up and I look at this plant and I feel like, yeah, I need to keep going. I just need to keep growing, be positive, hang in there. And yeah, and it's also got this really cool patterns. As I said, I feel the connection. Probably because it's yeah, different. And being German in Australia, you feel sometimes a little bit different, which is fine. But I love Australia. It's a really good country to live in, even though it's really hard to get plants, especially if you're in WA. I think anywhere in Australia. But yeah, Monstera duvia, my spiritual plant. If you haven't seen my channel, check it out. Houseplant Pixie, I'm Monique. Stay planting. Bye.
So that is it for this video. I really hope that you all enjoyed it. This was my first collab and it certainly won't be the last. I really enjoyed getting everyone together and doing this video. So as I mentioned before, everybody that features in this video today, I will link their channels down in the description box below. So if you want to head on over to their channel and support them, you can. And I just want to give a big thank you to everybody that was involved with this collaboration video today. I really enjoyed seeing what everybody else's spirit plant was and why they chose them. I also want to give a special thank you to Scott from Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. He actually created the music that was the background music in this video today. He is a man of many talents and can grow a wizardly beard, so thank you, Scott. But that is it for this video, guys. So if you did enjoy it, as always, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Head on over to my channel and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out and I appreciate it very much. And until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!